I'm taking the topic in a fresh, creator-driven way, turning the drama into a tightly paced, opinionated narrative that feels like a creator thinking out loud with you. I'm not rehashing TMZ's phrasing. I'm building a new commentary-driven piece that analyzes the implications, the audience reaction, and what this says about reality TV, accountability, and media cycles. What makes this really interesting is how a single moment on a dating show can cascade into a larger controversy about trust, redemption, and public perception. Personally, I think the core tension isn't just about a past arrest. It's about how a platform like The Bachelorette handles sensitive history when the show is about fantasy romance. If you step back, you can see the broader pattern. Reality TV lives on friction, and friction becomes content, which then becomes controversy, which can derail the entire production. Let me break down the big ideas and add my take on each one. Idea 1. The power of a single topic to reshape a season before it even airs. What happened here isn't just a personal moment, it's a narrative catalyst. A contestant brings up an arrest tied to a past incident, and suddenly the entire premise, romance, reconciliation, moving forward, gets reframed around accountability. My read is that audiences instinctively triangulate between sympathy and scrutiny. Viewers want growth stories, but they also want clear boundaries and consequences. What this suggests is that reality TV isn't simply about who you date. It's about how you handle the optics of past actions when you're placed under a global spotlight. From my perspective, this is a stress test for the show's moral stance. Do we pedestal redemption stories, or do we treat past mistakes as ongoing plot devices? The takeaway is that producers are increasingly aware that episodes don't end on a cute kiss. They end when the audience decides whether the person is credible or not, and credibility becomes the actual currency. Idea 2. The difference between growth and defensiveness under interrogation. On a one-on-one date, you're supposed to reveal vulnerability, not deploy a shield. When Casey asked what Taylor learned from her arrest, it wasn't just a fact check, it was a test of character. My personal interpretation, defensiveness in this moment signals a deeper fear of relapse into old patterns, fear of losing control over the narrative, fear of being judged not for who you are now but for who you were. What many people don't realize is how fragile the line is between genuine accountability and performative apology. If you take a step back and think about it, the way someone handles tough questions reveals more about their future behavior than a polished, prepared answer ever could. This raises a deeper question. Should public figures be held to a standard of perpetual accountability, or is there space for growth that isn't constantly broadcast? Idea 3. The timing and consequences for the show itself. ABC reportedly pulled the season after the resurfacing video and related reporting. That isn't just bad PR, it's a decision with financial and cultural consequences. From my view, the timing reinforces a harsh reality. In the era of quick takes and viral clips, networks may choose caution over certainty to protect talent, staff, and brand equity. What this really suggests is that the entertainment ecosystem is navigating a new normal where one scandal can erase a production entirely. One thing that immediately stands out is how social media reactions fueled the narrative, contestants posting blank screens, fans demanding answers, illustrating how audience participation now actively shapes the life cycle of a show. The broader trend here is that accountability debates are no longer private disputes. They're public campaigns that can determine a show's fate. Idea 4. The ethics of platforming and redemption arcs on reality TV. Reality dating shows have thrived on flawed, everyday people, and the arc of redemption has been a selling point. But when the past includes violence accusations, the ethics of continuing to platform that person get thornier. I think a key point is this. Platforms owe viewers a transparent, humane approach to airing sensitive histories. If the audience feels rushed to judge or comfort, you risk normalizing a rush to forgiveness without genuine transformation. What this really indicates is a broader shift in how society negotiates forgiveness in high-visibility contexts. The detail I find fascinating is how the audience's appetite for redemption collides with accountability standards we expect from public figures. If we only reward growth when it's entertaining, we miss the real moral work that such stories demand. Idea 5. the impact on the contestants, and the future of the franchise. Contestants reacted with humor and memes, signaling a collective processing of disappointment and confusion. From my perspective, this is not just about one season's cancellation. It's about how a franchise manages trust when its core promise, romance on screen, collides with real-world harm. The deeper pattern here is that audiences expect authenticity, and when a season is scrapped, it sends a message. The show prioritizes safety and responsibility over spectacle. A detail I find fascinating is how this moment forces producers to rethink casting, vetting, and crisis response. It isn't only about avoiding another scandal. It's about creating a culture where learning from mistakes is visible and credible, not just performative. Deeper insight: what these events reveal about the current media climate. If you zoom out, the thread tying all these ideas together is how fast media moves from rumor to policy to public perception. The rapid-fire nature of online discourse means a single clip can redefine a season's legacy. What this really reveals is a demand for accountability in real time, tempered by a willingness to allow growth, but with accountability that's believable and sustained. In my opinion, this is not just a TV problem. It's a broader question about how society handles redemption in the age of perpetual scrutiny. If we want stories that explore real change, we need structures that acknowledge process, not just outcomes. Closing thought. Ultimately, the core drama isn't the arrest itself, it's what happens after the spotlight shines. Will the show rebuild trust with a committed approach to accountability, or will it retreat behind risk-averse decisions that deny the audience a meaningful growth arc? I'd love to hear your take. Should reality TV keep leaning into tough conversations even when they jeopardize a season, or should it protect the spectacle at all costs? Share your stance and the moment you think a reality show crossed from entertainment into a real societal test. If you found this perspective helpful, consider subscribing for more creator-led breakdowns where we dissect not just what happened, but what it means for the future of media, accountability, and storytelling.